Hey everybody and welcome, it's Jamie here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a classic curry from the Mumbai area. We're going to be making a Dhansak. So Dhansak is one of my favourite curries. I really like the earthiness of the lentils, the sweetness of the pineapple juice, the sourness of the lemon, and also it is fiery. It has a lot of heat to it. So a Dhansak is traditionally served with brown rice. However, today I'm going to show you how to make my Indian inspired spiced potatoes, which go really well with this curry. So this dish is going to serve a family of 4, or alternatively 2 hungry people, or one very hungry person. I have been known to polish off the whole lot. Before we start with the curry though, we are going to prepare our spicy potatoes. The first thing you need to do is take about 8 potatoes, medium size is fine. I've got King Edwards, it really doesn't matter what. You need to peel them and then roughly chop them. And then we're going to parboil these for about 10 minutes until they start to soften. Right, so on our potatoes go, medium to high heat. Going to add a little bit of salt. We're going to leave those for about 10 minutes until they start softening. And in the meantime, we're going to preheat our oven to 180 degrees Celsius. So once our potatoes have parboiled, they're actually going to be roasted with a few extra ingredients. So we're going to take 2 cloves of garlic, probably half a red pepper, 1 spring onion / scallion. Now this is where it's up to you. I'm going to use a red chili. You could use half, you could use green, you could leave it out altogether. And we are going to garnish a little bit with coriander. Right, so I've whipped the ends off that spring onion, scallion. I'm just going to chop that roughly all the way to the end. I've already taken the end off this pepper, I've de-seeded it, cut it in half, and now all you need to do is again chop it really roughly. This is all getting roasted, okay? It really doesn't matter what size, whatever your preference is. Exactly the same with the garlic. I'm just going to slice that down the middle, like so, and then just chop finely. And finally, our chili. Please do be careful with this. If you need to wear gloves, do so. Make sure you wash your hands afterwards. Again, I'm just going to roughly chop mine. I don't mind a few seeds. I quite like a bit of heat in my food. And finally, the last ingredient you're going to need for these potatoes is this amazing infused oil. Now, you might remember the last video I showed you how to make a base curry sauce, which we're going to be using today. And from that sauce, we skimmed off all of the rapeseed oil that rose to the surface, infused with all of those lovely Indian spices. So this is really important for the curry we're going to make today, okay? And fear not, if you need a reminder how to make the curry-based sauce and indeed extract this really lovely fragrant oil, I will put a link up to that video at the end of this. So go check it out. It really does help make a much more authentic, flavoursome curry. Have a look. Right, so that's 10 minutes up. Potatoes have parboiled. They look good. We're going to drain those very quickly. Like so. And then we're going to put our potatoes into a roasting dish. We're going to add our chopped up red pepper, spring onion or scallion, chili and garlic. Then we're going to drizzle about 2 to 3 tablespoons of our really lovely fragrant oil over those potatoes, and then we need to give that a really good mix. Next up, we're going to season with some salt and then some freshly ground black pepper. That's perfect. Okay, you can see those potatoes already started looking slight yellow colour because of all the spices in the oil, and we're going to bake that now for about 45 minutes. Right, it's time to start making our curry now that your potatoes are roasting away in the oven. So first of all, you need about 180 grams of red lentils. They need to have been washed as well. It's about 1 cup, okay? So they're going to go into a saucepan, and then for every cup of lentils that you need to cook, you need double the amount of water. So I've got 2 cups worth of water here. In that goes. So those lentils are going to go on to a medium to high heat, and when they start to boil, we are going to turn the heat down and let them simmer for about 15 minutes. So whilst our lentils are cooking away, they need about 15 more minutes, you need to do something really important, which is to make something called a mixed powder. Now this mixed powder is made up of 6 different spices. Look at those, they look amazing, like coloured sand. And these are going to form the base, along with your base curry sauce, for pretty much any classic curry that you're going to create. So here's what you need to do. Starting from the bottom, working our way up, you need first of all 3 tablespoons of ground cumin, followed by 3 tablespoons of ground coriander. I think you can just about make out that one. Then we're going to add 4 tablespoons of curry powder. I've just used a medium spice one. I wouldn't recommend doing anything too spicy, because if you wanted something like, I don't know, a korma, you won't necessarily want lots of spice level to that. You can probably work out the next one is paprika, and we've got 3 tablespoons of that. The next one we have 3 tablespoons of ground turmeric, and then at the top layer, you can see we've got 1 tablespoon of garam masala. For today's Dhansak, we're only actually going to need 2 tablespoons of this mixture. It depends which curry you're going to make as to how much you need. That means there's plenty left for other curries, and this will store for about 2 months. Obviously this is layered at the moment, and we need to mix that up. That's why I use this plastic beaker, because it's really easy. Just put the lid on, and then you're going to do a Taylor Swift and give it a good shaky. And there you go. That is your mixed powder. Excellent job. Right, and back to our lentils. I think they are pretty much done. They've had 15 minutes in total. The water has reduced by about half. So we're now going to drain those. There we go, all done. And I'm just going to move those now into a separate bowl so that they're ready to use when our curry is on the way. All done. Right, and now for the fun part, we are going to start assembling our Dhansak. So first of all, you need 4 tablespoons of that amazing oil that I was talking about earlier, infused with all those spices from a base curry sauce. If you haven't got this, then just use 4 tablespoons of rapeseed oil. Anyway, that goes into a heavy duty dish, like so, and that's on a high heat right now. Right, so that oil is starting to get hot now, and we need to add a teaspoon of turmeric, a tablespoon of ground ginger, and a tablespoon of ground garlic. So in that goes, and we're going to give that a good stir. It's going to make a right sizzling noise, no problem. And that oil is probably going to turn a much darker colour. There it goes. Okay, we're going to add a tablespoon of chili powder. Obviously, you can adjust that to your own taste. A tablespoon is going to make for quite a spicy, fiery curry, just how I like it. And immediately after that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of our newly formed mixed powder. In that goes, and then give that a mix. And straight into that, we're going to add 125 mils of passata, or you could water down tomato puree if you wanted. In that goes, and you're going to need to give that a very quick stir. Okay, at this stage you're going to need your base curry sauce that I showed you how to make in the last video. You're going to need about 250 mils of this. And we're going to save the rest back, give that a good stir. It smells amazeballs. Right, I've left that for about a minute, and now we're going to add our lentils. You need to be careful with these because they can stick on the bottom, so as soon as they're in, mix them around into that lovely sauce. So you can see it's quite thick, and that's how it needs to be right now. We're then going to add the remainder of our base curry sauce. In that goes. And again, give a good mix. So our Dhansak sauce is coming on nicely. It's at this stage you need to add your main ingredient, and you have to decide what that is going to be. So for me, I've got chicken. I've already roasted this chicken, and I have about 800 grams. If you don't want chicken, you could use perhaps mutton, which is quite popular I know in and around Mumbai. You could have a vegetarian Dhansak. Perhaps you would use pumpkin, sweet potato, your choice, but you need about 800 grams. Right, so in with my main ingredient, which is roasted chicken, just cubed. And then we'll give that a good stir. And make sure all of that is coated. Wow, that smells amazing. And what gives the Dhansak its unique flavour is the sweet and sourness that you're going to experience. And to get the sweetness, we need 115 mils of pineapple juice, roughly half a cup. So in that goes, and we give that a stir. So that's going to add our sweetness. And we're going to let that simmer for just a few minutes. If you feel this is getting too thick, you could add some stock, you could add water, you could add more base curry sauce. For me, I'm pretty happy with that actually. And for the sourness, you're going to take either 1 or 2 lemons, depends on how sour you like it. You're going to miraculously cut that down the middle, and then we're going to squeeze that lemon juice into our Dhansak. I love this contraption. Okay, let's go. That's half a lemon. Time for the next one. And the other half, I'm just using the one. Kind of prefer the sweetness to the sourness. But you know, experiment with that, see what you prefer. And another good stir. Now, some people like to use pineapple chunks in a Dhansak. It's not for me, if I'm honest with you. I like the sweetness of the pineapple juice, but for me, my main ingredient is chicken. But please feel free to add pineapple chunks if you want to give that a go. Okay, final ingredients. We are nearly there. So that's been simmering away just for a few minutes, and now we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of coriander or cilantro, depending on where you come from, and some salt to season. You can use more or less coriander as you wish. So in that goes a bit of seasoning, quick stir, and that looks and smells amazing, even if I do say so myself. Okay, so I haven't forgotten about our spiced potatoes. They've been roasting for about 40-45 minutes. Just enough time to make that curry. Let's see how they are looking. Oh yes. Oh yes. They are looking good. And behold, the finished product. That is a chicken Dhansak. Just going to add a little bit more coriander to the top of that, give it a little bit of colour, and our spiced Indian potatoes. And of course, the proof is in the pudding, the curry. Let's have a go. Woo! That has got a kick. That is fiery. Please do adjust the amount of chilli if you need to. Just right for me, 1 tablespoon. Got a nice sweetness to it, a little bit of sourness. It's not too sour. I used 1 lemon if you remember. If you want more, no problem. But that is definitely a winner. Take my word for it. Okay, that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed. If you do make this curry, please let me know how you get on, how you found it. If there's anything else you'd like me to make, just make a note in the comments below. I'm also going to leave you with a link to that amazing base curry sauce. For now, thank you for watching. See you later.